Donald Trump is not only shuffling his campaign staff, he also seems to be shaking up his strategy a bit. So is this the start of so-called pivot that others have said that they're looking for? Joining me now is Boris Epshteyn. He's a senior campaign advisor for the Trump campaign, newly in that role, and so you're really starting to see things come to shape. How will you know that these changes are working? What's your measurement?
Well, one of the measurements is the speeches just given this week, right, and how strong they were. Going from Monday in Youngstown on national security, defeating ISIS, Tuesday law and order, and then putting it all together yesterday, Harrison. A wonderful speech that was personal, talked about policy, talked about why Hillary Clinton cannot be president. So really putting it all together, and you're seeing a candidate who's excited, who's happy, and who's fully focused on winning on November 8th.
You know, one of the things that we're seeing, and you heard Carl Cameron talk about it as we watch Donald Trump put together his team, not once, not twice, but now a third time, is he puts people on who can help him do the task at hand, and sometimes that doesn't work out. It didn't with Corey Lewandowski, and it apparently didn't with Paul Manafort. Do you know what wasn't working with Paul Manafort? Because he had a big job. I mean, he got him through the convention.
Well, he got his job done, right? When Mr.
So
Manafort
was it always baked in that he would leave?
You know, that's not up to me to answer, but the bottom line is he got Mr. Trump, got Donald Trump the delegates needed. Donald Trump secured more votes than ever in the history of the GOP primary. He's obviously the nominee and now speeding toward victory on November 8th, in which I'm confident. So the team's changing campaigns. That happens. The key is the candidate. Yeah. And that's what we should be talking about in his message. Well, the timing of it, too. I
mean, we're the middle of August. We're not that far away. And so, you know, critics will look at this and say, why isn't he pulling it together sooner? And that's a fair question.
Listen, sure, Donald Trump is an agile leader. He's someone who's a visionary, and he has a vision for this country, and he's implementing that vision in his own way. He's a businessman. He's looking at every opportunity that's out there, and he's pulling together the strongest team possible. Kellyanne Conway is somebody who's been in politics for a long time, but is also an outsider, a businesswoman. And, you know, Donald Trump and her have known each other for a long time. She's been a part of this campaign now for a while as well. Steve Bannon, his success in business and in media. Really a truly strong team to lead us across the finish line.
But with Bannon not a politician, not truly in that role, do you anticipate more change going down the road, or is it just too soon to tell?
We're not focusing on staff changes. We're focusing on the message of national security, of the economy. That's what people care about. That's why the reaction yesterday was so positive to that speech, even by some critics like Mark Cuban and other folks who were so positive about that speech with Donald Trump.
Well, you watched the answer back on that and then today's visit already. I mean, when you were on the ground before the sitting president at a place where you were critical of the previous president and you're on Martha's Vineyard, I mean, that gets to be a win-win, if you will, for maybe even the people of Louisiana, if he can talk about the anemic job situation down there while he's on the ground as well.
And the leaders of Louisiana are saying that.
You mentioned a word, agile, you know, agile leader. Every leadership conference I've ever been to always talks about the agility of winners and how that works out. How is it working behind the scenes, the speech writing, the getting ready for the teleprompter? And that is a pivot. I mean, for all intents and purposes, that's the definition of a pivot when you didn't use a teleprompter before.
You know, it's a development. You've seen Donald Trump develop as a candidate.
Does he seem comfortable?
Absolutely. And I thought yesterday's speech was the top of that comfort. It was a combination of using the teleprompter so well, but also his own personality that always shines through, that people are so attracted to and relate to.
All right. So this next question may make you a little bit uncomfortable, but I want to talk to you about vetting the people on the campaign, too. Because, you know, all you had to do was Google a little bit about Paul Manafort's past, and Ukraine and Russia would come up. What is going on behind the scenes with regard to the vetting?
Listen, the vetting is strong. You know, this is not about any one issue or anything like that. This is, again, about the campaign and keeping all the focus on the message that Donald Trump is putting out there, on the message of national security, defeating ISIS, the economy. He talked about the blight of inner cities yesterday, something you haven't heard Republican candidates seriously address in a long time, or Democrat candidates,
that's an honest
for that matter.
Response right there.
That's what we're fully focused on as a campaign.
And I say may make you a little uncomfortable with that question because you haven't been there that long, and who knows how much they've really shared. Real quickly, if you had to, and I'm sure as a senior advisor you do this, give Donald Trump today on this Friday a little bit more advice, what would it be going into this weekend where the expectations now are very high?
Let's take yesterday, let's take this week, and just run with it. Let's run with it for the next 80 days.
Do you think
all
he
the
can
way
stay
to the
on
finish line.
message?
I don't think so. I know so. I know he can. I know he will. He will continue to be the authentic candidate. He's said that time and time again. He's not going to change. You won't see a new Donald Trump. You will see the Donald Trump that is fully focused on winning, and not winning for politics reasons. He's not in Louisiana for politics. He's not, you know, he's there because the people of Louisiana want him there, and the leaders have been talking about it. Listen, our president played golf with Larry David. Curb Your Enthusiasm yesterday. Donald Trump's in Louisiana, and he's helping those people. He's the true leader in America already right now.
Do you think the dollars will flow now that these ads are hitting those battleground states too? Real quickly, last
Absolutely.
question.
Listen, the money has never been an issue, and putting dollars to work has not been an issue. Of course we've been behind. Hillary Clinton has been the presumptive nominee for 2 years because she rigged the Democrat primary. Donald Trump has been only there as the nominee for a month. Everything's getting to work now. We'll win on November 8th.
All right. There are some Bernie Sanders supporters cheering about what you said. Not happily, but just, yes, somebody understands their pain. Boris Epshteyn, always good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.